Hi, cherished viewers of Mission and Ministry Sylvester. You're welcome to this very wonderful broadcast. I would like to introduce at the very section of a very serious business with the Holy Scriptures and creation and civilization is very important. And looking at this very screen right now, we'll be talking more about creation and some of the most sacred names and things we ought to learn to understand even as creation and travel and slave trade and all of that, the buy and sell business, which happened to bring more civilized world into this very adventure. And I would like to also introduce to you the very screen, how we look at pyramid, mountains, and any other thing that keep out the world. Here, we'll be talking about the true Mizraim as it links to Enconia, and then the concept as Mizraim talking about two Egypts having double portion of what they mean. And almost everywhere part of in the world that the Lord actually have his own role playing, he had many things happen. And such things would be the slave trade marking 400 years in Egypt and marking also in Konya having a bit a part of the fast food. The talk of the slave trade marking 400 years in the United States of America, which have had to actually create for us a kingdom in Washington, D.C., and then just going about the righteousness of the Lord and keeping what they have to keep. And such very document will also come with keeping of souls and talking about spirituality and creation. Above all, in Konya is every wonderful challenge having the reality that the very best is this. Let's make a very powerful quick note about one thing that Egyptian would like to talk about as of the creator or the whatever source it is. This, if you are very new onto this very channel, you just came across it, you can subscribe, you can do the best you can to support the channel and then make sure you cling to this for understanding which comes with what the prince. And then the Bible says that for out of the mouth of the prince shall proceed wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. So having the prince would also tell you many things right here. Now let's take a look at our very main first important lectures. As you can see on the screen, Egyptians were made actually to build, to trade, and to welcome people whom the Lord actually held as captive under this very jurisdiction. As a ruler of the world, you only have to have a life like this to rule. I won't waste time as it's very important. Necessary, I will play a very good role right here. I'll be taking a little sleep, so if you have to sleep, you can listen well and make sure the word is digested well. Don't be led by many things that claim the Lord has done this, the Lord has done that. If you don't actually have any tangible reason with Him, how do we build? Here is the same person on the screen talking. We've been so much and challenged so much as the Lord has always been. Very supernaturally great. So if you don't stand out to build as the Lord said his own build, they develop, then what would you be telling the world at large? So here is a very supernatural word and the person of the word and the spirit led by the creation. Here it is, an X world. You have to look at very well. Now here we talk about this Egypt, then you have to know that most of the Nkoyan language as we have connects also with what I'm saying and why I'm saying very important right here. And in Konya, you will have to learn to know what the scripture is saying, as it's not just a name. I would that show you also something else. Let's take a look quickly, as the Lord would never fail to guide. For guidance of the Lord is this, to understand one thing here. Hear this word, new. This new, right here up there, had a connection, a very creator, powerful function in the role in Konya. But most people out there in the world speak a language not known to them, yet it is not even interpreted as they speak it in their language or the tongue that somebody taught them. It's in a direct opposite. Because most of the spirit, the word, the language that you speak, they are very spirit as gods themselves, the angels themselves. But you speak it in a way or in an understanding that whatever you've been taught, that probably means that which you're trying to say. It's not like that. Because looking at this word new, would you have the new in your language and don't know what it's saying other than something else somebody told you? Then it's better you find out. That's why it's very important. That connects to the Bible. He says, find out, research on these things. Let's get quickly on board. Stay tuned until we get to wherever it will lead us. Where we take a first word here. As I said, the Egyptians' idea or ideas, or maybe the said ruler or the source. And now the word nita and its meaning. So we're going to go a little speedy as this very scripture or the spiritual book holds so much that for you to understand more, unless you are focused and paying attention as the Lord would be creating the things right before you, if you're listening, you didn't have it all until the Spirit came to fulfill it. That is understanding. So whatever we have to learn here, right here. And it says, to the great and supreme power which made the earth, the heavens, the sea, the sky, man, where we will simply say female creatures and male creatures, and other creatures like animal, birds, and creeping things. All that actually, or every letter A that descend, that stand next to the Lord, that is, and every other creation that stand next to him, that shall be, or that shall be, the Egyptians gave what? The name Neta. This is what the name is. This name I have been told that has existed from many years and even ancient of days. So it means that this you have to research on and find out the Lord is showing the path, the way to understand it. And here he goes on to say, these words survive in the word, in the Coptic word that is secret, here until you are told, as both in the ancient language. What we say is ancient, many generations, days ago, old, days of old times. So truly, even if the name of the spirit or the forces should get missing, once you have access to this name and it's telling you it existed, then you have to do well to ask or involve yourself to search and research and bring the answers to the ones who actually haven't known it at all, and even probably those who know it without knowing what they're saying. So it says this word survives in the Coptic, as is it in the ancient language or ancient dialect or whatever. You know, when we say the lang is actually very powerful to understanding. If I tell you, you know, we have the lang, and this is also another spirit talking about what we need to understand right now. And it says on, and it's of the age. This tells you so much. You have to so pay attention. And in its younger relative, and that we want to say that in relation. So just say in younger relation, the exact meaning of the word is lost. So you have the meaning, you have the name, but you don't have the meaning. But look at what the meaning will be where we get to. That it says here, and Pierre, following the road, this the road actually also means spirit. So to say it is actually spirit. Connect it with what? The word. In a secret word that you want to know, that there's a breaking part of it. That's why they put the hashes right there. And you can find this, most of these things, maybe what the Spirit is going to give you, and like I'm giving now. And says that it means what? Renovation. So even the word that you think or you don't think, however, having your own house and then you need renovation or rehabilitation, just put a word right there that you have a place in your room or your house you have to rehabilitate or reshape or fixing. It means that getting to what? Rework something, work something very out. So that even that which they want to say the name is even lost is not lost, is right here to say that renovation. A renovation has always been. And it says what? It's a renovelment or renovelment. That is it. Even this gentleman says the Brook School or the Brooks. You know, this word is a name of a girl that exists in this country. Ghana or GH. I wouldn't even say Ghana, that GH Gold Coast here. In Accra or in any part of the Cratches or in the Guanj. So that is where we say the Guanj language and all of that. That it says that renders it by what? The gloches or the golich, the golich or the golich. Having this word here, healing, healing. And then on the tongue Christ or on the cross, you heard I said, healing, healing. These are the words that derive from what they're trying to say. You know, everything that is on the Bible, if you don't know it, you will see it as something else. But the original meaning and the spirituality, reality is in this book, what we are saying right here. And it says also in diving or sacri or sacre. And when we start right at sacre, it's going to show you power right here when it says sacre. So let the Lord fix something right now in our life, spirituality, and spirit, and angels, that we may not see the ugly part of these things, that other than the very word that is promised in learning. They were always submitted to learning. So learning has always been the great secret of what? Knowledge and understanding. If it has to be spirit, that is why it is. Because whoever finds something good keeps it in the form written. And that most of the things were kept with you, and they told you that you're the most African, you don't learn. So the secret of your own book or your spirit, most of them are written. And you know that because you don't read, you don't learn. And most of the people who didn't learn came to actually make you something else other than what we're supposed to learn. So just a little about this, a little quick. And he said, and by or an X3 Arabic words, which means divine, sacred, or set apart. Somebody who is what? Separated from you or in a special honor or special place, not to be common among you. That's why it's always reserved. That's why they've written everything by say that right reserved, all that right reserved. You have the right to search, find out, or upon request must be given. If it is released, you have it. And it's also what say holy, that means single, respectively. And it says also X, a quotation from the stele of Canopus. He shows that in the Ptolemaic times it meant what? Holy or sacred when applied to the animal of the gods. And then this gentleman, Mr. Renath, says that the notion expressed ex natura as a noun. So listen, as neuter or natura as a noun, and neutra or natura as an adjective or verb must be sought in what? The Coptic, and that which you'll find later. So we'll be doing this as time would be permitting or permit us. And I say, which is also the translation of the Bibas, or you want to say Bible, that correspond to the Greek words, Greek dunamis. So you see where they have the words and correspond to these things. They want to say dunamis. Or you have the Isons or this name and many others. I all have it, all these words. Having the spirit even try to pronounce it well again as you want it. And meaning what you got power. That force, strong, fortify, protect. And he goes on to show that the word neither means strong or mighty. And yet, as I say that, the emperor or the M. Maspero, however, thinks that where he thinks it's like when you find out something, the spirit that led you to do this is not just thinking, it's just suggesting that you say this, you say that. So we'll even with it just end right here and continue the speed because we are yet to just find out many other things. Here we'll look at what word it is here that very important we study. Now on the very internet, look at this word. What do they say is God or to some other people in different language? And it said the essential use of the name of the God, the Father, in the very New Testament even are the theos. You see that it is theo. That's why they say theologian or the theologists. So every word that you don't understand didn't even come from where you have studied and have degree or whatever. That's not a degree. That's where you are yet to, study the reality, because you are just being introduced to the words. That if you come across it trying to state that it means this, then you have already got knowledge of it. Okay, here is also the the theos, that the Greek term for what? The Greek term for the Jody. Now it's also like kairos or kairos. You know, the kairos actually, you know that they have Cairo. Cairo also in this Egypt or whatever. So these names are the things or the elements you have actually had all things written, yet it's hidden before you, as you see it right before you. That is it, that is the Lord in Greek. And the Pater or the Peter, you want to say Peter, but it's just Peter, having it written as this Father in Greek. Then he goes on to say that Aramaic word Abba. So you see that the Aramaic is where they have the name Abba. Not that word we have studied to. They are just trying to tell you in another person's language that Arabic and the Aramaic. You see why the thing was stolen from your original language to another person. That is why the Arabic have always sought in coming to destroy certain things, telling you they are doing the right thing. This part will tell you what they are saying. Why you didn't even know what is Abba or Abba, because in your language you don't know Abba. But they're trying to just tell you that this word Kairos and all of that, and the others are what they are saying in another person's language. That the word is Abba. That is a minute, Father. Yeah, it's what used by somebody. Here, I have to move on quickly. You have to get knowledge of such things as is very important. It plays a very crucial role in this very day. Now, look at one word here. That which is the first country made by the Geordie. As somebody is very important asking. There, look at it well. He said the description of the Kerala as Geordie's own country. Listen well. In learning, you have to know where and why some kind of powers exist in those places, and the meditation and many other things. And it says what? Where it says can additionally be traced to the event known as what? Tripartidenum. So Tripartidenum in 1749 or 1749, the then ruler Matern, or let me put it right here, the Martanda or Martanda Venma, Martanda Vema. Do you know why we begin to mention his name? Tell you. You know that in the Christ message he said, everyone that goes out there to preach or say or commission his word, that he has taught you should not forget to mention the name Martha. And then the other one. Even though Mary, whatever. The original names, here you can get it straight away. It says what? Martanda Varma. And then what? Maharaja of what? Travancore decided to donate his realm to what? Padmanabha, which is Vishnu, and thereafter rule as the deity's vicegerent. Where do you have it? What? Sri or Sri Padmanabha. As you have Dasa. Sri Padmanabha Dasa. That's why they are simply trying to tell you a country that existed for many, many, many generations or years. Very, very well. Now look at what you want to say. What is the word mission? The mission. What word you describe as mission? It says missio. Where they have it as Messiah. All those words were just simple. As you don't know this in the original language, you were not able to even understand what it's saying. Where it says Messiah, when they were saying when the Messiah comes, when the Messiah comes, this Messiah, when they said he comes, he's somebody who represents what? Somebody who have been sent. Here it says, so the Messiah, which in turn they said the mercy of the Messiah. That's not the mercy, it's Messiah or the Messiah. That's what they're simply saying, that whoever comes in the name of the Lord, or whoever comes in that as a messenger, are really telling that you get healed. Because they really got something to tell you. And it says, it's for Latin what? For the biblical English word mission. So if it really have been said, you cannot do without the word mission or the Messiah. Or it says what? Which is based on the original Greek word for send, to sending or sent. That's what they are trying to say is what missile, or to say in English, mission. You see that they could not change anything about it, just adding one N, only N. This N is code also to it. And it said the Greek root word, as it's written here, that we have to say even if it was as apostello, or an official or an authoritative, sending an authoritative what representation or representative. That is what is best translated as apostolic or apostolate or apostolate or apostle. So these are the words that you see and try to abuse, even making understanding very well close to you. Somebody ought to want to understand nothing. How are we given? And you are told that when the right person comes, what he will do is he will definitely interpret the scriptures well. How did he interpret it? And we don't get it. Now listen, here is the abode of the Egyptian god. So we're going to start right from here. Speedily we will probably do it. And here it's to say the Egyptian heaven, or when the ivy or the avis come, where the Avians come. Here are the people they are talking about when they are saying from above, such people come. So he said the goals. So whenever you see the goals, that's how it is written. To say in plural form, calling your own to come to create with you. That's what it is. Even in the Jewish or whatever their book, it tells you that the translation how you take Bible from the Genesis that to say let us create. And then you don't see it like that. That is said God created this and that. No, he said in the Jewish, he said they should come, let us create. All these things you have to balance well to know what it is here. Then what else it is in this very conversation. So he said the gods of the Egyptians dwelled in a heaven. Is that not in heaven? Or they dwell in your smallest home? That which they are cast. So let me take it again. He said, let me even zoom it a later and see how we can see it. He said the gods of the Egyptians dwelled in a heaven with their cast and Cush and shadows, and there they received the seed of what they dead or did to dwell with them. You know, I see that also go with it, and that is also breath. So this goes with also bread, and so with them. So wherever and whoever it is of the heaven that come to this earth, when they go off, they go straight to that place. That is their heaven they will get back to. And here it goes on again, and it says that and they or and there they receive what the seeds that are dead to dwell with them. And these you also say what heaven was situated in the sky, which the Egyptians believed to be what like an iron ceiling, either flat or vaulted. All these things are whatever it is. And I see these things all physically to myself. So it's not a doubt. That is some of the things. This is how we prove it. If the Spirit of the Lord revealed to you before you come across the written things like this, then they're really showing you that. Because I'm an artist, knowing very well I've studied around these things in an art. But not to this information. That is just to know life. Art is life. That's what I told you, art is life. So where the secret is, if you're not giving, go and learn anything, have degree, whatever, you won't pass. Whatever you have is not a pass because you are just here to know what you can do with it. So it says what? And to what correspond in a state and shape with the earth beneath it. The ceilings was what? Rectangular. They are telling you how the shape of things are. And was what supported at each corner as what? X a pillar. In this, even this one I showed it somewhere where we first described it and we saw a building that looked like that. So we have also with the eye seen it. And it says what? And that's why they build temples like that. Those temples and storage structure, you have to look at it the way it is. In this idea, we have what? As M, you see that? M, the letter M. The letter M, and when you see the letter M in this same Egyptian hieroglyphics, it will show you exactly what an M represents. And it says on Maspero. Maspero has observed a survival of the word roof tree of very primitive nation. Do you understand it? That is a primitive nation you want to talk about if you look at the nature of building and how to put things up there and the civilized world. He said at a very early date, huh, the four pillars were identified with the four ancient Kus who dwell in the her. So the hair, that you want to say the her. So there's nobody who come in the name of the Lord that is true beyond. With our hair, it's actually different. And the hair of what? The Horus. Are you going to say Horus? So when you see any word that is US ending it, you should know what is US. US is not a small word, neither a girl. That's why it's a lady, a nation. It's a word of spirit, so you don't just talk about US anyhow. And thank be to the Lord, most of them that are watching carefully, what the Lord should be doing, that we don't tolerate any wrongdoing, the injustices and prevailing that the enemy won't be your leader. That here is that sin or breaking law of naturally what existed first before you coming. We didn't kill you. You cannot break that law. And it says, who are also said to be what? The four gods. So when it says the four archangels, you have to know that every angel comes as a form of what you're trying to say is a strong force or field or supreme somebody. That's what they're trying to say is the GODs. Who stand by the who stand X the pillar scepters of heaven. You don't know what the four cardinal points. That's what they're saying. So when things are rewritten in your language, you have to find out. If you don't find out the places they have traveled, you will not know what they're saying. And once the thing changes, you won't get it as exact as it is where they pick it up from. And again, it says that these four gods or cardinal rulers are children of Horus. So you see that the Horus is going to show you his children. That if he was not a flesh living, how do you see any other person? And that the people who have lived with them to show them and they have lived with them. Or when even the other people came there, they didn't see the miracle or signs and wonder. The same Lord that want to make difference made it. To take a new challenge, he made it. And then it goes on and their names are Amset. So that when America make watch or time and then they say AM, they know what they are saying. To say Amset, to say happy. Then when they say your happiness, when you are sorrow, somebody say bring happiness. This is the word, the angels who make you things like this, or the forces that keep you. Then it say what? Tuamatoth or Tua Matath and Kebsenath. These are the names of what? Those four cardinal or archangels watching over the four corners of the earth. And it says, they were supposed to what, preside over the four corners of the world. And subsequently were acknowledged to be what? The gods of what? The cardinal point. As you hear it straight away. The Egyptians named the sky or heaven Pet. So they call the sky or heaven what? Pet. And the white people are the ones who have created things and keeping what? Pet on their side. Having a pet. It means that the whole heaven that they want to dwell have a name. Simply something representing where they will dwell, calling it pet. Yet most people have learned they don't know what is pet. When you find out the definition of pet, they will tell you something that you keep on the side without knowing, without having a connection to this. But the original name is from this side, they have picked up the things. Let's say, and he said what? And a less primitive view made the heavens. Do you get it? Less primitive views made the heavens in the form of the goddess Nat. So any other person try to say, oh, they want to say is rather Nat. But many others is what? Pet. And then in Nkoyan language, we have, we have languages even of the birds. So most of the birds who represent the names of what we say is heaven. In this country, we have all these things. In this country, we speak the language from the original. That is in the Nkoyan language, I can show you very well. And it's a less primitive view made the heavens in the form of what? The goddess, Nat, who was what? Who was represented as a woman or as a female creature with a bowed body. You say a bowed body, then they show you that kind of the Maria that is shown with a child in the hand. This will show you the action, where the things coming from. Why, if the Lord promotes or produce more of that, you have to see a similar thing because that is the soul working continuum. And it says, whose hands are feet rest on the earth. You say it. Like you want to say the one who is heavenly watching over this earth, feeding something. And it says on again, in this case, the two arms and the two, we're going to continue where we have the other words. So we'll be taking this if time had really allowed us to go on. We will be able to what? Make it if the Lord calls for it. As it continues, legs form what? Form the four pillars upon which the heavens are supported, not the sky goddess. So when we say that there's a healing in the flesh, in the bones, in the light, and intelligence quicken, that the Lord will show you his own true light and the forces that he has ever used and their name originally. That if we have it, you have the exact name and what to meditate on. And here, you will hear most of the things in Adam and Eve, this same word, the names of the people here, you'll be hearing their name right there. That's why they said the only ones to keep this are the only ones who it was given first. Then it continues. So the one who are led by the true spirit power of the Lord, there's nowhere you have the original people that you will never open it. It will happen. So it won't be as a God you serve in your house. No, they are not talking about those things there. They are talking about people who have lived with them, who have given birth and lived, and have shown them the path, keeping many. And these are originally many oldest things they are keeping there. Not that they have to say they are worshiping idols and things. No, they say how creation exists. What they have been keeping are some of these things, yet you'll be seeing it as a different thing. Like somebody created something and you just coming with your unclean spirit, giving it a name. Whereas the one creating the thing have a different name. And different idea in how it is and what it keep. Yet I'm not keeping any snake god. So I don't like any god that is of snake. That's how I always say I don't like snake. Because I don't want to have anything like that. Things that are actually not found. I don't do that. So with this same thing, I can use the spirit to keep the best. But not that I'll go and create with the spirit something unclean. I won't do that. I don't call anything unclean. So he said, from whose? Listen very well. He said that not the sky goddess was the wife of Seb. The earth god is this you've heard, Seb. From whose embrace she was what? Separated ex Shu. Shu. So you see why the white people would name something Shu. That is spelled Shoe. That is a Shu. So this is where the name that God is right now. Shu. Shu. So that when they tell you things and you don't know, here is the thing. They say Shu is what? The God of the air. You don't see us and then the air. When this separation, he said, was being affected, earth, air, and sky came into being. So they came into being what they are today, as you breathe and live. And it's true that you are seeing the reality, but not talking about what snake. No. And let's go on, and it says that signal. You see that when they write signal, like having a cable connected to a terrestrial or antenna or dish, satellite, and they said what? Something is referred to as signal. As they wrote it, but you're going to have it here like signal. Signal. How we get it? Signal. That's why this one goes with the sign or signatures and things, and then it says sings or whatever you're observing. Signal land zone has collected a number of what illustrations of this event from what pipery, having this name of a person are connected with what signal. So it means that reading or getting something from a source like this is like a signal connected to what you are also what probably introduced to right here. There's a connected to what number of what illustrations of this event from pipery. And there's a book and most of the things, parchment and all of that being what they are telling you, you have to learn to know it. And other documents is a wherein they have what or the well end. I call the W is well end. Have set lying on the ground. What does it mean lying? In the form horizontal on the ground. And that shoe uplifting not. So shoe was what? Uplifting not. And I have done this several times. I've been that one who have uplifted people. So I know all these things that they are saying. It won't be a news, but we might surprise it to have done these things in the dream, in their visions before coming to say it. And that doing it in the dream or vision is this: we have become helpers, carrying people to destiny and whatever we see to be what? Lawful, law abiding, things that don't break the law of what bringeth life, or sowing a seed or planting for a tree or for food, time they come to cut down. That is the unlawful. These things the Lord will not forgive them. Let my enemies be destroyed. Command their enemies. Break them out of my house and in Konya temple. Command them out quickly and restore the Lord authority, the home that you have kept hungry. Restore to them total possessions. The protection and the right possession and possessions. All this word comes with one word like this: possess and possession and protection. All these words come with it. As I'm talking right now, I'm in a very different look of things and saying it. It's like nobody wants it to be like this, and it's happening. So look at it very well. And he said, and then shoe uplifting what? Not with his outstretched hand. The feet of the goddess rested on the east. Rested on the east, their feet. So that's why most people who lay things to that level, you have to know why. It's position. That's why they say you sleeping or resting, positioning shows many signs and things that is leading it. And says, and her hands on the west. This is shown as the scenery wherein shoe is what? Is accompanied as two females or females who have what? On their herd east and west. So this is why west and east. It's written in the Bible that what you gather at west, you brought it also what? From the east. And wherever it is west is also east. Wherever is also east is also west. So we have east, east, and then west, west. So respectfully, then they said, the child or the chi. You know, before you call something chi, unless you know what I'm saying is chi. This chi, how they call it child. It's not a child though. It's the word original, that is chi. The chi, so I'm on my chi X. That you should know. That this word, as you call it child, unless you know what, the white people are very intelligent. That's why they kept the thing, so that you unlearn, you won't come and corrupt it with the things they have taken it out of. You are making the things dirty. So he said the chi of the union of Seb and Nat was what? The son. Look at it. So the child of what? The union of Seb and Nat came up with what? Son, which is S-U-N, who was born in the east, in the what? Morning, like in the daytime. We won't say morning. In the daytime. What does it mean? They are telling you that the sun that will be bringing the light from the east and set at west, you see it. And who made? Then we take this word, one word, and he said, maybe let's go on. Let's go on. Let's leave it. Let's go on. Quickly, we can have another word. As the Lord wished that, knowing this and keeping it to the world as he has decided, that it is already possible. That in his cause, along his what? He is what? Creator's flesh. That I can show you what is on the screen. That what happens? That until the hot or until he sets in the west. I hope you can see that. Or they set in the west in the evening. Then the what? The MOON followed the sun's course along his what? His what? His bodies of what? Creation. You know why I'm putting this word like that? That's why you see the sunset at the west. Then the moon follow. So when the right time comes, you see why truly we have been the only people making it. That the moon, as I don't want to say moon, the white stone has always followed this time around the sun as they have been what? In that gap. Not having the moon somewhere else and the sun somewhere without knowing where about. This is where it is working. The whole half month is like that. So if we mention it, we have to see it. As the Lord is the one what bringing the secret, what have kept this secret and knowledge hidden. What they have learned in Egypt or Mizraim. That's why they even call it Miriam. It's the same thing they are saying in Mizraim. And the same Miriam is the same Ria. All these are the things. So to know this very well, that not that people are to come and preach, you have to only know the word and the spirit and where it's originally coming from. If not, when you pray, you won't get the answer. Because the original secret is the name. As they say, learning, the secret is in the books. As learning will find out. And it says again that Who and who begot what? The Son. They said what? Not and who? We've already taken it. So it's very important to know it. So that when we say not, we are not talking about somebody, maybe somebody knows, but that which existed in ancient of days till this time. So that we won't use any little boy or somebody prostitute to corrupt what we're learning now. Because that's not what we're learning. So let the Spirit of the Lord humble any unclean spirit that is trying to hide inside the flesh, that he, the Lord, may have his way and continue his will, and command the well that bringeth the life and springeth life issue, that we may drink, and that cause it to rain where it will at the right time, has always been the right time. The Lord has always been with us now. I have lived and lived, and life that I've lived, where you know what the Lord has been saying, you would go straight and on to do what is right. If it's not your enemy, who else doesn't want you to learn? So the spirits are there that until the time comes, nobody knows this. Because even whoever kept this have no such thing than they creating and learning. And you also worried that they don't go to church, they don't do this. But they are the ones showing you what name you don't know. When you go to the church, you don't know the name. How do you go pray in somebody's name without knowing what you're saying? And the spirit of forces that made the world. Why do you think the Lord that claimed to be somebody will send his people under captivity and slavery to go and learn from where they said the kingdom is, that ruling? Ruling. If the Lord see nothing good over there, do you think he would have sent his people, or he would send people that he's trying to teach who don't listen? Do you think the Lord would send them there? It wouldn't have happened. So go on quickly, as it would say that his course along his what? Body in which he read or has created, until he set in the west in the evening. So whatever they said here, that's what continued the rule. And then they said what? And the white stone followed also the sun's course. So as the sun is leading, then the white stone is also following. That the power of whom it is sun, then what? The one receiving what? The good works of the sun, or of that, whatever it is. Where it says what? That, but sometimes a second female is represented bowed beneath not. Now check here. And this is believed to what? To signify the night sky across the what? Across which the what? The white stone travels. That I don't want to be saying the moon because I know what it is. I say white stone because I know what it also means. So in an interesting picture which M. Jacquia or M. Jacquia has published, that the goddess is depicted lying flat with her arms stretched out at complete length above her head. That's why we've been sleeping so much like posture that we put on. On her breast is the disk of the sun. So on her breast is what? And the breast is actually facing the east again. The same thing that made the word breast is east. So the breast is what? Is the disk of the sun. And on her stomach, where the stomach is, the very white stone, where it goes on to say, who or those who believe that the sky was an iron plane imagined that the stars were a numbers of lamps, you get it, which were hung out therefrom. And those who actually picture the sky as a goddess starred or studied her body or what? With stars. Don't you see this beauty? That one scenery makes the morning and evening, with that was the morning, day and then evening, or you want to say light and eve, both of Ra, then you get the name Ra, to sail along the back of Nat. Another depicts Shu holding up the boat of the sun, wherein is the disk on the horizon. So all these things that we have done, only the ones who have followed well, the Lord will keep them in the heaven until any heaven or kingdom return. That's why they've always said it. Very well, thank you. And this is very important. If you fail to understand this, I know this in all that I'm saying. Most of this I have it in vision already, and I see it. I've lived in them or with them. Most of them, all these things stars, and that's why you can see on my channel. I've posted some kind of drawings, like two suns or two moons or stars or the mountains having reflectors of stars. You don't know this. I see it. Fire, this ocean. Look, so many things. To talk about it is just like you don't have to finish now. I'm the one making it even very simple for you as we're going to look at this. So let every enemy and word of curse be removed right now by the original ancient of days and ancient names that we find. If there be any final decision as an artist, I didn't get that business of my enemy. Let my enemy remove quickly in the name of the living light and shade darkness and light. That I have to live in the light. So that it goes on again to say that. So he said another depicts Shu also holding up the boat of the sun wherein is the what is the disc on the horizon. A third from the sarcophagus of Seti or Set, Setai, represent Nu. So this Nu or Nu is in all this is in Korean language. They are in Korean language already. So that in Korean language we say Nu, all these things they are words, special word, either to drink or either to hear. This word only comes with that. That's why most of them that say they hear, they see. I don't know how they want to say they hear, they see. But because the thing must be originally, if you truly say the Lord is with you, we have to see him. And he said, well, only the ones in a pure heart will see him. He didn't say when you go to church, you will see him. He said, Nu is what? So listen, if we speak the language to Nu it means to drink water or to drink or to hear. Nu, Fanu, or Nunchu. Is it the same into or the into all of that is in the same language to drink water or to hear. In that's why the only one who understands this will tell you where these things have come from. And then it goes on again to say the God or the God of the primaria or the primeval of what? The primeval what? Water. So you see that when I say Nunchu, means that in our language, to drink water is right here defined right now. And to hear right now also say. So let's say it. So that in Korean language is the one telling you where the things are truly. When it gets to life, life matters, here it is. Not to show idols and so much. No, no, no. Where it matters very well. As I don't worship any single thing, as bowing to anything, but making the here or the here. Working the excellence beyond that which they say, if you don't do this, you won't show up. I will tell you, what I have done so far is already beyond creation. And it says, so that representing, they told you already what they mentioned as what? They're what? Let me even tell that please. He said a third from what? The what? The SAR. That's why they even told you the saint, the SAR International. So look at what it's saying. That a third from the sarcophagus. So that when they say esophagus, that they are saying all these things. You don't know what it is. You think it's just a name. The sarcophagus of Seti or Setai represents what? Represent Nu, the god of the primeval water, holding up the boat of what? Of the sun. Wherein, and I can see reflection, thank you. Wherein, well end, see the beetle with the solar disk facing what? It accompanied by what? Isis, which they gained this name from Isis, that they said Israel. Israel. This is how they got the name written. Then you hear how they speak the language here, right now. And then they say what? And Nephilims. Then they told you Nephilims and this or that. They have the original names here. Isis and Nephilims or Nephilims, who stand one on each side. What are they saying? Stand one on each side. Each side of what? Each side Behind Isis stand the gods Seb, Shu, Hek, Hu, and Sa. That's why they say Sa International, which is the saint. The word Sa already exists. And I'm the one with the family called Sa. We have the Sauri. So we have the Sauris in my house, or the Sa International. So it is my house in Nkonya that we have the Sa, the name called Sa family. We have the Sa, not that it's tree, it's not tree. But you speak it by, it's not your name. But we have it name, as it is written here, name. Sa, that is S-A. That's why Nkonya happened to also what? Appear in South Africa. That they have Nkonyanians over there. Even though they are very different, but that is a different tribe. But the original thing I'm saying, how do you have them over there? I got to only know it when I met one of them. I even have the one of them WhatsApp number that I can just search and type for whatever. He even introduced to me that he's also an Nkonyanie. But it surprised me how he came up online, because I came across this where I have met with somebody special in a business conversation. You know that where we stop, we are only saying that Sa is in my house, the name, from my home in Konya Bekwen family. We have the Sa. So having the Sa, and they say SAINT is Sa International. To say that the Sa that is international, that it can be in every place, is known worldwide. If the language, if the language is written and you don't understand, you see, I'm even trying to take it. It is highly powered that I can even say what I'm saying. They are healing so much because they have a different spirit energy that I'm even trying to talk about. And I'm seeing through something that is beyond what I have to say. Not that I'm seeing how they see. You know, it's like I'm in the living water or liquid state of something, or I'm in the milky state of something. So let's go on. And it says, and behind Nephilim are three deities who represent the doors through which the gods Timu, like Timu. You say the letter T and then Mu, Timu, or whatever you want to call it. Then we have what? That has what made his way to the world. So you see that Sign International and all of that to the world I mentioned. That's why only he said the language of this person, you shall know them by their voice or their language or by their fruit. These are the things nobody wants to tell. But you know what? For this to be reality, unless truly the Lord has shown you already the visions, or you are the one living already with them. If not, no matter what you say in this, you can't get it. Because it won't be somebody just trying to what? Say it as though it is lovely to know it. So let's find out. I got a lot of greatest. Let's find out this. Maybe this one before we get to, yeah. All right, so this word, let's get it also here right now. And that it continues here to say that within the two-bowed female figure, which represent the day and the night sky. Do you see what it is? So even if you don't know this, and whatever talks about heaven and earth is this, you have to know it. That when you do it well, it will land you wherever they say their life is. Because this one talk about heaven that is Amenta. So much that if you want to talk about. And I know all these things are names with us already. Names, that's why they say he who is predestined, heavenly. They're already known by this. Justified and glorified. Not that somebody is trying to say, I will become a prince. No, I am a prince already. Not that I'll become a king. I'm a prince. That is the next of king. Nobody's a king. That is a creator and private king himself. So that every one of the things that the Lord say element will not fail. Yeah, never fail. May my name be ruled out of the trench and enemies. Whoever it is that doeth bloody uncleanness, whatever unclean tidy things I will command you out. Let his name an ancient of secrets resist and rebuke you. Let it be reviling, even if he had to say a word that blow you out. Like it comes from me most often. So it says what? Within the two-bowed female figure which represent the day and the night sky, and which have been what? Referred to above. So he said ABOV, ABOV, the ABOV, This is why they got a dove. Above is the dove, because it's the dove that fly in the skies. Above is the dove. They can fly a certain level, but the dove is also showing you heavens. That is why you can be only a virgin to have these things. This is victory to say that you are a virgin doing it. Love already at the same time. So whatever I am, the spirit, the manner, the spiritual manner, there we are enjoying it. Not that we are enjoying it, but there's a connection already. You know, I can tell you what I'm saying and what I'm going through right now. As it's different energies, different spirit, that know which nobody can come through. By the name Sylvester Kwesi, nobody can come through, even if the rose has been tapped. You cannot, you dare not, because the spirit that is working right now is different. And is what? Is a third figure which is burnt. And I'll take this word. It says what? Land zone. We were introduced to this. And then what? La livre de what? The second, and then this. All of that. And I Ibid and Ibid Tav. All these are what? Written words also, even most of them located in what? The Jewish calendar. Some of these names. Like almost everything. This is how the things are written. That if you do not know the truth, he said you will never be set free. And it's a Ibid or Ibid Tav. Then he said the Brookshire that is also what? Religion and what? Mythology. Wow, that is working where the word mythology is here. Mythology return also unto me wealth, then feed my soul, my spirit, and my flesh, the body that carry you, and the body that carry the universe in the real original creation. And empower my home, the great empire of the great prophet, king and princes. That which have been written is right before my eyes. That you've done so well. There it goes on again to say this word that said the heavens. Again, that is a round in a circle. The space enclosed X what it represents according to what? This one finding. The Dr. Brooks, this word I told you already. The Brooks, that the what? The Tuat or Egyptian underworld, wherein dwelleth the gods of the dead. So that's why at the pyramid and the underworld, they are finding out right now what has been hidden that nobody has ever known. These are the very original words. So I'm speaking a tongue that is very, very spiritually creation, and it's also unfamiliar. Even myself, as I'm talking, I'm like close my eyes, or I'm opening the eyes, but my ear is also different right now. Yeah, because I'm just saying it and expressing this. May the dwelling place of the very finest of nectar, let it also be renewed. Let it be renewed and renewed. For wherever the Lord has said he has ever ruled, so he has shown power of the two or three or more. Let there be healing. Let there be deliverance from the book of unclean spirit, who doesn't know anything by claiming the pyramid power unto himself, without knowing that thing is already in the spirit and his physical world. So in the realms of the spirit, I'm in the spirit physical world. What the Lord also made, he's shown me in the spirit, and I see it also in the physical. Yes, I show you, because we build this. This building is right here. This building, we built it here in this country. It's at my umbrella junction. So that energy empowered, that any unclean spirit, the Lord of this word is empowering it. That it will clean and clean. That I have been here to see the work and finishing line. We made a spirit so you can go out of it. That should be the glory unto the Lord, who built that I built as a worker, manager, not as a slave. I am the master or the leader of a work. That is the glory of the Lord showing. That is the glowing power of the Sunday, the January. And then the power of the midnight wave, like waking up this time. I descend at a time like this. So whenever I'm waking up and doing something, that's none of your business. Doing it also daytime is about myself and my own house. How can we say this? And it says, wherein dwelleth what? The ghosts of the dead and the departed was souls. So that the souls that have departed, they kept them also there. So that until flesh of creation return, nobody can touch them. That will show you the fair colors that you are seeing these days. How do you know yourself? And it goes on again to say, this view is supported, even X the scenery from what? The sarcophagus of Seti. As they show also in these figures, they are showing clear pictures, how the thing looks like. that in the watery space above the back is the figure of the god bent round in a circle or circle. This is so circle go with a circuit. So sec L or circular. That is why the French have been saying circular. That do you understand? Is that clear? Is it open to you? Do you really get the point? That do you understand? You just see how circle of this word. That with his what? His toe touching his head. And upon his head standeth the goddess not with outstretched hand receiving the disc of the sun. That we're taking this one, and I wanted to also go on to something here. And then this also show more of that, saying here that receiving the sun or the disc of the sun, and then in the space enclosed as the body of what the God is what the legend. That's what is written here. That enclosed or X that the body of the God is the legend. So why did they say the body of the God is? That any legend is that body of the God they are saying. So whoever is a legend is really telling you for real that is the legend. The one who understands the God or who knows it. What does it say? It says that in the space enclosed, that's what they are telling you. The angels, this is the language is written in. That the space enclosed as the body of the God is what? They are saying it is what? Is the legend. That this is Osiris. Let's see if we can find this up there. I was trying to get more into that. That if I have to say the Lord is working. What do I say is working here? So right as it's showing right here, that is it. Right in the circle, the space enclosed by it represented according to what the Dr. Brooks said that the thought of the Egyptian underworld wherein dwelleth the what the god of the dead and what and there were the departed souls. That this view is supported as what the X the what the X or X the what the scene from the what sarcophagus of the city as in the watery what space above the back is the what figure of the god bent around what in a circle which his toe touching his head and upon his head stands the goddess not with what outstretched hand receiving the disc of the dot of the sun in a space enclosed with the body of what the body of the god is what that the legend and it says that this is Osiris. So they are making known this is Osiris. His circuit is the twat. So you using the language twat, you don't know the God who you're saying is a twat, thinking that you are insulting somebody. That is a twat is this. What do you know about this language? And that you continue as it's going on, it says that though nearly all Egyptologists agree about what the meaning of the word being what? The place of departed soul. You see that the word that you want to describe is different to what? The understanding that you are saying you have been given. So the 12 that it says what is that the place of the departed souls. Yet it's what? Yet it has what been what? Translated in various ways. Different scholars locating the twat in different part of what? Creation. That Dr. Bruxelles and others place in under what? The earth. Others have what? Have supposed it to be the space which exists between the arms of Shu and the body of Nat. That goes on again to say, X, the most recent theory put forward is that it was what? Situated neither above nor below the what? The earth. So they said neither above or and it says again, however, you want to bring something adjoined beyond Egypt to the north. So it's beyond Egypt to what? To the north, from which it was separated X the what mountain range which, as the Egyptians thought supported the sky. That's why they kept the thing far from those things, just to keep the souls from disturbance or things or whatever they may keep in there. That you want to know, if you want to know that. And as what? As the Egyptians thought supported the sky. So it supports the sky. Truly, don't you see my work? Does it support the sky or not? This is what we want to talk about. If you didn't make it, don't come and make it suffering or whatever. As going on again, even how I'm reading, you can testify that I'm just getting it. Command this word, I'm not a man, I'm not a woman. Command this word, I'm not a male, I'm not a female. Right now, I decree, declare, I restore myself. Sometimes just using who they are and how it was for them to write it. Those spirits and how they can read or do their things. It is, I'm telling you, manifesting their true self, how they can do it. Except sometimes I'm forced to change this to myself different way. My original version is very intelligent. That it says again that the region of the Tuat was a long, mountainous, narrow valley with a river running along it. Starting from the east, it made its way to the north. Yes. And then taking a circular something while we go on, right? Let's see if I can get it. It's about time. It's about time, yeah. Wow. Very well. So much. So much. Even with all I'm having right now, is very enough. We've been seeing thunder, lightning, cloud form, rain, and it's raining, raining, rain. Because we are working as nobody can put the lights on your tongue to go and preach lies and expect the result to be given. Than being light as it's not connected to the person you're thinking you are talking about. So the Lord also moved my motion as the prophecies I've received never fail because the glory has been given already, crowned. Thank you so much, Spirit of the living, testimony of the Lord. You are so amazing. And here we go on and it says that the region of the Tuat was what? A long, mountainous, narrow valley with what? A river running along it. Starting from the east, it made its way to the north. And then taking a circular direction, it came back to what? To the east. In the Tuat, lived whatever the pillars that are standing, and the A that walk through the pillars. Only an excellent one will walk through the door or through the gate. That's why the AII represent the excellent one. Will be the one to what? To go through this one. That manner of what? Fearful monster and beast. And here was the what? The countries, and here was the country through which the sun passed through the 12 hours of the night. So they were using what? The 12 hours of the night. And it's 12 hours truly. According to what one view, he traversed this region in splendor. And according to what another, he died and became subject to Osiris, the king. If Osiris wasn't a human being, how do Osiris or how he must become a king? Then the God or the God and judge of the kingdom of the departed. So that even if you depart, he had the power to judge you. All my doing will show you what we tell you. They are just right here, or with themselves, or wherever the Lord is keeping them. That I can be with them, or be with anybody that the Lord says I am going to be with. Isn't this so amazing, super magic, beyond the Lord's magic? Now listen, he said, the field of Oru and Hitep. So already in the word Hitep is that it is temple. So when he that is from temple comes, that is where they got even the word temple. He that is temple, when he comes from temple, you know that the word is he tep. So when he tep comes, or he that is said is predestined temple comes, what will happen? Look at it. He says, the souls of the dead made their way to their what? Abode. That means wherever they were supposed to be, in the other world. However, what? By a ladder. So I know the ladder is in Nkonya there. So all these things that they are saying, Egypt, the original place is in Nkonya again. As everything begin there, so that the Egypt that you are here being told about is because on my channel we have the island that is pyramid, very huge, in the waters right there. Do you not see it? And then seeing that which they have built in the other one, it means that where origin begins, or in the garden, you have learned from certain things you have built also, so that that place also show you what begins with them. It means if they have ever lived from this side, or you have ever lived from the end, it's just in the vice versa like that. I not told you that I'm the one on my ladder, that I've only seen the ladder 2 times, that I descend on the ladder and also ascend, and I'm on it. I've not descended anymore. I'm on it. I'm on the ladder. It's in the Nkonya Hills. Why do you know? You don't know the place, unless the Lord show you how you have been given, what you have to say. So even the language I'm saying is so much that to understand who is talking, unless we honor it, honor the Lord that I may eat or dwell, and tell you to understand this word is already who the Lord has revealed it. Or do I not tell you that I've already witnessed it, or I've been revealed to this in a vision or dreams? That in my reality, it shall not fail. If truly the Lord revealed to me, or I climb it, not that I just saw it, I am the one on the ladder. And I'm the one who know the angel who ascend and descend on the ladder. And I'm one of them that are descending and ascending on the ladder. What a wow. I didn't even want to say they would talk about ladder. And look at it, and it said, according to a very ancient view. So if you think it was a book written, as for me, the Lord has revealed to me, or the Spirit myself, or the Lord Himself, or the angels have made me aware that it won't be word only, but the vision and the soul of this is that I know it already and seeing it written here, so that I show you original location. That's what I say. He said the indigenous people. Then he said, according to what? A very ancient view. Most of the people, they may not know this, but once the Lord showed to somebody, then that is original. He said, or through a gap. You see, that's why I came telling you gap L. Through what? A gap. In the mountains, I know it. I've shown you things on my mountain. That same place, we are seeing all these things. So in the mountains of Abydos, called Pekah. You say what they call Pekah. Abydos called what? Pekah. According to what? Another. And I know this. I know what that they are saying. He said, X, whichever. You say, whichever, I know it. That's why they say, if the destiny holder comes, he alone will be the one the Lord is giving everything. So when you give us suffering, we rebuke it back to you. According to the ancient days and the words, chant not on chant, but that we make known to you. What the Lord has shown me already first, before you hearing it, as though we are reading a book, is why nobody can be the best, except you follow the best. Because you don't have what it takes to do this as a virgin or the love or the birth that I came from the heavens. And I am the only one who knows where my ladder is. Very well, thank you, Spirit of the living, Spirit of the flesh, Spirit of Nkonya. Thank you, you have a name. That I've been in that place and the Lord have shown it all. Whatever it is. Thank you so much. Look at the miracle. That even traveling in Konya or Volta, we have a place called Peki. You know that all these names on the road will show you what they say. If you want to say this one is Pekah, so it is that word. You don't understand. Once I show you the gap, because I understand what is the gap, and we made it, that the one that they say is gap L. Right there it is. If you don't learn, if you fail to learn, you will not know the names. Very well. Look, I've done this until the bird is making his best melody for me. Very well, and it goes on to say that so whichever they pass from earth, their destination, do we not say it? Their destination was a region in the Twat, which is called in the pyramid, and later text socket. Socket arrow. Socket arrow. You know that we have electricity, socket. This socket, how they call it circuit or socket, that you have in the country here, they call something circuit or the circuit. They don't know what they are saying. As the light is also saying socket, he know that the circuit is right here. Because they've made the findings and they keep the names on the Lord or the names of the Lord or on things. And it says what? Which was situated in the, let's say, the Bruxelles. And then here the legend reads, he said, this is not, she received Ra. So if I'm that person who came and you don't receive me, the Lord will take me back to where there is joy or happiness or the gardens. Where are we there alone without a beast? And he said, water a book. They have what? Water a book or water book. Water back P or water back whatever. And then again he says what? Land zone, domicile, the earth right. Or designer open my wealth right now completely and my relationship, empower it quickly for healing, the best of it. Even the numbers on it, when I'm going to show it right now what it means, it will be more meaning. Even thanking me on this very very well, thank you, that you can use the best of this generation to prove what nobody has ever witnessed. We would like to say thank you, a very big thank you to the fans of the Lord for learning. Is very great. Thank you. I have nothing to talk about than seeing how we started the thing, ended somewhere. Don't stop learning because learning is what you are trying to say is a lot. So let me show this medal that you see. Today they show me on this on my special place. How you see the colors. All these are medals the Lord is showing you on screen, digitally, spiritually. Not that if you should say it physically, you can say it's even yours. I am telling you. I'm be giving what time to rest a little. So until then, I want to call up this very hour that I have made it what the Lord called it. I have look at my dressing. That you don't fake and pack around this place without knowing the sword that I hold in the right or left hand. The left hand is the one holding the sword. From the universe direct, I pull it. I stand on it and pull it from the universe. May the Lord of the universe prove truly he gave me this power. Or he gave me my own sword and nothing can stand it. In the spirit or in the physical, because in the physical manifests reality of the world. Thank you so much. I have been given so much power to rest in the system and to rest and rest. Very well, thank you. I've loved this work. So we take the next conversation anytime it's ready. Very well, thank you. Let my stomach be filled and feel well.